that's our situation today. There are many complicated situations that are calling to be addressed and answered. Well, they didn't always get it right, and obviously we probably won't either in some cases. At the same time, as a balance to all of that, I think it's also very important in this day and age that we don't get so caught up in the moral issues of our day that we lose sight of the big picture, God's ultimate plan. Though we do need to learn and grow from our mistakes and what is happening around us, we also need to watch out for compromise. A lot of issues that we're facing these days, though important in our society, are not necessarily part of God's overall plan and where He's steering us, no matter how right they may seem. Some may actually be the ways of death that Proverbs warns about. They won't bring life and flourishing to our world. So we need to judge them accurately through Scripture, prayer, and counsel, and not just on an emotional basis or by our human reasoning. As much as I believe God is love and is concerned about each individual's happiness, I also believe He is more concerned with the long term and where we are going as a race. He knows the end of the story from the beginning. We do not, so we need to look to Him and judge things by the written word and revelation He has given us so far, and which He continues to share with us. His ways are not our ways, and His thoughts are not as we think. So while I am suggesting being open to change, I am not promoting the idea that we are to take every new teaching proposed into Christianity in order to make it relatable, relevant, and up to date. That has not worked out well historically, and part of our problems today are due to just that, are trying to join man's way of thinking and doing things with God's teachings, to the point of tearing down what He's trying to build. Good is always enemy of the best, and His ways are best. A good book that really helped me understand a lot of what I watched happening in Christian America during my lifetime is called Bad Religion: How We Became a Nation of Heretics by Ross Douthat, columnist for the New York Times. In his book, he offers an insightful account into how American Christianity went off the rails. In a story that moves from the 1950s to the age of Obama, he charts institutional Christianity's decline from a vigorous, mainstream, and bipartisan faith through the culture wars of the 60s and 70s to the polarizing debates of the present day. He argues that America's problem isn't too much religion, as some atheists propose, nor is it an intolerant secularism, as many on the Christian right believe. Rather, it's bad religion, the rise of a variety of pseudo-Christianities that stroke our egos, indulge our follies, and encourage our worst impulses, and as a result, fails to give answers to our most difficult questions. So let's keep learning, but beware of compromise. It's important to not go too far back down the road and question everything and reinvent the wheel with every new issue that comes up, yet at the same time be open to change and growth in our lives and walk with Jesus and in the world around us. Not easy, I know. I hope to do a class on the litmus test of discipleship, how to know if you're on target or not. For a sneak peek, I'll give you two of the main references to go by. The first one, to know how you're doing, is 1 Corinthians 13. All that love is and isn't. This talk was given right after chapter 12, in which Paul was explaining the gifts of the Spirit, which were powerful manifestations of God in people's lives. People are attracted to these gifts because they're usually showy: prophecy, healing, signs and wonders, tongues. Some quieter but still cool ones like wisdom, discernment. Great and useful stuff. But he ends that section after describing the gifts with, "But I'll show you something even better, a more excellent way. Love above all. The rest is in vain." You can have all those fancy gifts, but without love, you'll just be a big minus, a failure in front of everybody, God included. 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter. And second, there's Galatians 5:22-26, where he talks about the fruits of the Spirit, how the Spirit will flourish and manifest itself in your life, like a tree. Now, fruits are grown, not given, like the gifts of the Spirit. And to get that good fruit, your roots have to be planted properly, and you have to be receiving nourishment on a regular basis. Otherwise, the plant will wither. No fruits. So the gifts are given, but the fruits are part of our stewardship and responsibility. And of course, the first fruit listed is love. So let's not forget love. So what are we left with? What can we do? Study. Be faithful servants. Not beat our fellow servants, as Jesus said. Keep busy and prepare for his coming, when the kingdom he initiated accelerates to the next level. According to the Bible, we will be governing this world with him. So the time to prepare is now. Study as if your future life depended upon it. Don't get tired of doing good and believing what he said. Love him with all you've got. Love others and treat them as you want to be treated. And we'll see you at the finish line. May God bless, and may he continue enlightening and strengthening you in this wonderful life.
Somebody loves you and wants you to know